Hi class, how are ya? Remember in the last session I marked you with the cross of Christ and I said you are baptized in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. And also we were talking about the creed, the Apostles' Creed, and learning to say that by heart in memorization because we speak to our belief in Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Well, so how's that coming? Do you feel pretty comfortable with it? Are you practicing so that you can say that and that you might be able to remember how it is that we experience God in 3 ways? Well, keep working on it. It's going to come to you just like second nature soon enough. So let's move on with the story. Remember again, we are now in the New Testament because He's here. Christ is born. And He is showing up in the most unusual places, and He is stirring all kinds of following, people who want to follow Him. I know that's one of my questions. Why do you think people want to follow Jesus? Well, some of it's pretty easy to figure out. It's miracles. But He's also upsetting some people. And remember last time we talked about power. How desperately we want to hold on to our power. And some people were starting to feel pretty challenged by Jesus, not just King Herod from when he was a baby, but as we move along, we find others do not like what Jesus says because it does make them feel like they're losing some of their power. All right, so let's talk about, we open with page 592. You have your books, right? So I asked you to read from 592 onward, but I'm going to back up to 590. Maybe you already read this too. I hope you did. But in 590, we start to realize Jesus has some very significant followers. We call them disciples. And it says here, and He found them. Honestly, He found each one of them. It wasn't like they had, a sign-up sheet or sign-up genius, or they didn't have to go to a place and register to be a follower of Jesus. Nope. He just walked into their lives, whether they were fishing or they're walking down the street or sitting under a fig tree. Jesus saw them and said, "Come, follow me." Now that would have been a good place to turn that rock up again and say, this is a Bethel moment. This is an epiphany. Surely God is in this place and I didn't know it. But they still wrestle with the idea, is Jesus God? Still trying to figure that one out. So one day, Jesus calls all of His disciples to Him. And their names are Simon Peter, Andrew, James, John, Philip, Bartholomew, Thomas, Matthew the tax collector, James the son of Alphaeus, Thaddeus, Simon the Zealot, and Judas Iscariot. And then when He has them all together, this is what He says, "My friends, I give you the power to drive out evil spirits and to heal those who are sick, and go and find the lost sheep of Israel. Heal the sick and raise the dead and share the message that the kingdom of heaven is near." Surely God is in this place. And I didn't even know it, right? The kingdom of heaven is near. Jesus is in our world. And oh, He is unleashed. He goes wherever He wants to go. And He does whatever He wants to do. Well, in the first miracle that we have on that page 592, I asked you to read that. What was the occasion, the special occasion? Was it Super Bowl Sunday? I don't think so. Was it Halloween? No. It was another thing that sometimes we celebrate with families. It's a wedding. Jesus is there. And they had a bit of a problem. Doesn't seem like a life-threatening problem, does it? No. But if you'll notice, Jesus' mom, maybe she's had an epiphany or two, maybe a whole bunch of them. And maybe she's starting to understand that this is really the Son of God, this boy that I've raised into a man. Because when there's a crazy situation, this is what she says. Very simply, she looks at the people who are hosting this event. You know what event I'm talking about, wedding. And she said, do whatever Jesus tells you to do. She's starting to recognize his power. So they do. And things change. And all of a sudden they have epiphanies. Their eyes are opened. The light bulb goes off. Aha! Surely the Messiah is here. God is in this place. So a nice exercise as you're reading the next pages, tell me all the different scenarios again where someone might say, this is God, and I didn't know it. Is it always in a temple? Is it always in a church or a synagogue? No. It's in common everyday life. Weddings, journeys, gatherings in the community. And it involves people that have maybe been swept to the side, have been dismissed because they're not well. Does Jesus avoid them like everybody else does? No. And pretty much when the situation starts to unfold, a big drama comes around, Jesus walking into the life of somebody who can't speak or see or walk, they figured out you do what Jesus says to do. But even when we hear that so clearly, are we going to mess up? Are we going to forget what Jesus says? Are we going to sometimes choose not to remember those words that Jesus tells us? Yes. But he takes care of that too when he gets to the cross. But we're not there yet, are we? We're still going story after story. Events that happen in the day, events that happen in the night, events that happen in big crowds, events that happen just one-on-one with Jesus, events that happen in joy, and events that happen in real anger. Again, the anger that comes from thinking that now Jesus is taking our power from us. Sometimes it gets confusing. And even the smart people get a little confused, like Nicodemus, when he comes at night. What about when Jesus walks into the life of somebody that he's not supposed to be actually interacting with? A woman that's a Samaritan. They're kind of the enemy. I'll tell you what, God being with us, sometimes that can be a little unpredictable. Sometimes it's a lot unpredictable. But there is something about knowing if God is in this place, we're safe, we're okay. Not everyone will figure out that God is in this place because of Jesus. But that's why we're together. You have been baptized into the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. We confess our faith in the Apostles' Creed with the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. We know that part of the story. But we also are called to share this with others, to bring people into a conversation to where they too know that God is in this place, and we didn't even know it. Keep in mind that we have a whole lot more to learn about Jesus, and these stories are still pretty vibrant, so bear with me. We'll continue. God bless you tonight. We'll see you next week.